Hey survivors, Black here from CasaBLACK Gaming, and this is a quick no-nonsense video that I feel is one of the most important things to be aware of before you even create your character and start playing, and that is where to build your second base. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Black, I haven't even gotten to the game to create my first base. Why should I be concerned with my second base? Well, the reason is because your first base is not something you want to spend a lot of time on for many reasons, so let's discuss what those are. First up, one of the key differences here in Enshrouded is that the game directs you where to place your first flame altar, which is the area where you are able to build your bases. This is all part of the tutorial because they do a good job at directing you about the game's unique mechanics of where and what to build so you can house your first crafter NPC. But here's the thing, you do not want to waste a lot of resources, time, or energy on this first base because I literally usually abandon it within 30 minutes to an hour of playing to create a far better positioned second base. Now, my criteria for building that second base is first to gather up some resources to create a simple 2x2 large floor shack or smaller, so it's just big enough for some storage, a light, and the blacksmith crafter, which is the first NPC that you're going to go out and find and bring back to your first base. Now, after this, I prioritize crafting the glider and grappling hook, which will require you to head into the mist and chop down some trees there for that shroud wood and shroud spores. Now, once you have those items, you should have the mission to find the ancient Spire, but you might first have to also defeat the first boss in the elixir well. I'm not exactly sure if that was the first requirement, but that first boss is easy enough, and I usually get it done within that first 30 minutes or so of playing. Anyway, once you have the ancient Spire mission, make your way to it using the grappling hook to get past the first roadblock, and then you can take out some enemies there, and once you get around that hill, you're going to go inside and complete the challenge, which is not enemy based but puzzle based, where you need to time jumps, avoid harmful obstacles, use your grappling hook, and make your way to the top, which will unlock a travel point back to the top of that tower. These towers are the easiest ways to cover great distances and be able to map to, using your altars as little in-between points to map to. Anyway, now from this tower, and assuming it's daytime, I like to jump from the northern side down to the area below. The area below is where I recommend as a second place to build, where you can plan to be there for a longer period of time. I like to go just past this structure, which is a hidden tomb, which is a good place to pick up 2 new materials. Now at night you might find some dead creatures you could have trouble facing, but ultimately it's a pretty safe area, especially during the day. Alright, so once I land and go to the edge and place my altar, that is my choice, and you might find a better place in this area, whether that be up the hill more or maybe even down somewhere else. Now this isn't a flat area, but you can of course terraform it how you like, which makes virtually any land habitable on the map, unlike some survival games where people are looking for those prime spots. Just make your own prime spot. Now as for the reasons why I like this area and why I place my altar so close to the edge, is so I can build down to the area below. There is a flame shrine just off this ledge down at the bottom, not to mention the hidden tomb I mentioned earlier, along with flint that is readily mineable around this area, and a settlement with some enemies that you can grind for levels. It's a great centralized location to move about from for many of the upcoming quests. Now, one of the main reasons I gave a warning about waiting to build this base is so you do not sink any materials into that first altar for upgrades. You will be better served waiting to place this second altar, no matter where you place it, and then using your resources to upgrade this one, which includes using a shroud core, which you get from that first elixir well back near where we started. So saving that core for this altar makes more sense. So when you've transferred everything from that first base location to here, and later removing that altar itself from that location, you didn't waste any resources on it. Now, I do recommend keeping that first place altar for a few levels, just for some easy access to the Enshrouded area so you can grind, along with some other early resource gathering that you can do with little worry of attack. Alright, and so that's it for this cautionary tip. I hope you found it useful and a time saver, and please share with others. I have a lot more coming and should have some great location videos for those hard to find resources, tower walkthroughs, and more, so be sure to subscribe, comment, and like the videos to help combat that evil YouTube algorithm that always hates my short run times. Anyway, as always, stay positive survivors, and I will see you next time.